Welcome to Investors Insights. Our topic today is trucking along. We picked that topic for a specific reason, as could it be that trucking is an indication of things to come? Bobby, you brought that up in our meeting. Just elaborate that.
Yeah, so 2 weeks ago we talked about all the reasons we're bullish on the economy and the markets, but we also have concerns, and one is shipping.
Yeah.
And the reason we look at shipping is the arterial system of our economy, so it can be a leading indicator. And two indicators are having concern. We have concerns with.
Sure.
So one is a truckload diffusion indicator. That fell to its weakest level in 2.5 years. It fell 29% year over year. That's a big fall in 1 year. And then also a large CEO of a large trucking firm in Florida said that it's the quietest it's been in 20 years. And then also the Case Freight Index, which is used by a lot of analysts as a leading economic indicator, fell for the 5th straight month. Yeah. So we're starting to see these trucking indicators go from a potential slowdown to an actual contraction.
I mean, that's something we looked at around, I feel like 18 months ago, a little over a year.
We did.
That showed strength. There was the number of open orders versus available trucks was at record highs. So the economy was really humming along for a while there, and that was a good indicator that we thought GDP would surprise, and it did surprise to the upside for a few months. So this may be the canary in the coal mine of a little bit of soft.
No, you're right. In fact, we even talked about the fact there's a shortage of truckers. There were so many orders. In fact, I think actually, if my memory serves me right, you commented that for every truck that's out there, there was like 12 to 15 orders waiting to be shipped. Yeah. We're now seeing the reversal of that. And for our viewers to understand, people are placing orders usually 90 to 120 days in advance so that the products can get there in time for the job or the consumer, as needed.
And data like that is why the G20 summit this week may get a little heightened interest, because that's the summit between the largest economies, the developed economies in the world, where all the leaders get together and discuss ways to work together. And when there's not global coordination on economic issues, shipping, trucking, all that comes to a halt, because what is trucking? It's moving things from point A to point B. Well, if you're not shipping things in or out, there's a lot less need to move them around.
Right.
And so we'll see that would be very important. Maybe could turn this around. If the talks between leaders of China, leaders of the U.S. go well, we could see shipping coming back up, and that may sense some strength, or that this is just a soft patch instead of the beginning of a slowdown. Similarly, the Fed met last week, and everyone was saying they should cut rates, or they're looking to cut rates. They did not, but they indicated they will cut rates. Again, if the U.S. economy is not slowing down, why would you cut rates? Well, maybe the Fed was seeing data like this that is hard to find as to why they may want to pull rates back. The Fed could cut rates 3 times from where they are now to get back to kind of what is a historic normal zone. So there's a lot of room to cut if the U.S. economy does slow down. But without indicators like this, it's hard to see that coming.
Right, and we're seeing market highs.
Yep.
Conversations about interest rate cuts at the same time, and we're talking about slowing of economy here. But actually, you brought up a point that in terms of fear, paranoia of economy slowing down, people immediately start to think about bear markets.
Yes.
But I think there was a stress test on the banks here recently.
There was last week. Greg's right. Our banking system of our top 18 banks, where 70% of the capital to U.S. industry comes from, is in extremely good shape. So what we want to remind you of, the Federal Reserve, like Trey was talking about interest rates, that's their mandate, of course, and we talk about that a lot. But the other big job they have is to keep the U.S. banking system safe.
Right.
Well, from 2008, where we had all of the TARP because there was not much room there, a cushion room, from that point, the banks have grown to the point, capital reserve-wise, where they're doing great. The reason that's important to your money is if banks are in that good of shape, they can take more risk with customers. And most of the lending in the United States to companies that are small and middle market, where employment growth is by commercial banks. So if they can take more risk, they can keep it going. So right now in the stress test, you could have double-digit unemployment and a 50% drop in the stock market. The banks are still fine.
Yeah,
that's a great economic backstop that we did not have in 2008.
No, you're absolutely right, and should keep viewers as people in relation to the portfolios, the economy.
Yep.
We're looking at there could be a slowdown. We're going to keep watch on that.
Right.
But at the same time, there's a lot of strength there. And then, Adam, you talked about on the IPOs. Explain that.
Yeah, we're seeing Silicon Valley, it's alive and well. We're seeing a lot of IPOs come out this year. In fact, we just had one that's a workplace messaging center or platform come out, and they blew past valuations. So as this economy grows, if it's going to grow, it's got to grow with advanced technology. We're starting to see that more and more with these IPOs coming out, and these tech companies are kind of blown past valuations. I mean,
and when you say IPO, you're talking about initial public offering. So people
yeah.
saying, I really like this company, and I think they've got great growth ahead of them.
Right, exactly.
Companies going from the private market to the public market, that shows a lot of investor interest. So you see, we see risk in the economic growth from trucking, maybe some fear from the Federal Reserve, the economy may be slowing, but then banks are able to lend, and there's plenty of appetite for risk in the market. So there's a lot of conflicting news. I think that shows the economy is not anywhere close to coming to a screeching halt.
Yeah, we're starting to see investors very hungry for reasonable and believable growth.
And a lot of those type of companies are not tariff impacted.
Right.
You know, they can end run a lot of tariff stuff. It doesn't matter.
That's a great point, actually. No, you're absolutely right. You know, on that note, what we've confirmed here is we love to see data. We love to put pieces of the puzzle together and see how it could impact your portfolio or what strategies we need to implement. We want to stay on top of this. We're going to keep you informed. We also appreciate the way you're sharing this vlog with others. And also keep up with us on social media as we continue to give information along that way. And then, of course, we still like just one-on-one meetings and conversations on the phone and events where we can provide information. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule, and we look forward to keeping you updated.